pull up a chair to the Covenant table. This is where the high-end metadata meets the Minnesota mud. I'm Rocky Dubrock, pathfinder, builder, and occasionally a guy who wonders if he's doing this right. If you're here, you're on the boat. Or maybe you're just wondering if your life is the reason they haven't perfected the buy one, get one taco deal yet. Either way, you're home. Today, we aren't just surviving, we're choosing hope. What if the collapse had won? Would somebody still sing the Prince of Peace? Would the world still find a pocket of grace right in the middle of the digital noise? Maybe we'd still be shouting at the algorithm, trying to bless the Wi-Fi, instead of blessing the person sitting right across from us. Take a breath. You aren't a glitch in the system. Every heartbeat echoes. Every story is a signal waiting to be traced.
Faith is the foundation.
Love is the signal.
Peace keeps calling through the static.
Mercy keeps reaching through the mud.
The Prince of Peace still opens every door.
From the forte of the farm, we're coming home.
Faith is the foundation.
Love is the signal. Maybe the world would miss your laugh, your weird opinions on pineapple pizza, those 90s sitcom quotes you drop at dinner. Maybe we'd miss that one honest sentence that reminded a stranger to just keep living. That's the real kingdom work. Small acts, gigantic grace. George Bailey saw it in the snow. Hope usually shows up 5 minutes after surrender. The kingdom isn't built by the polished people, it's built by the ones who stopped striving and started abiding, one act of love at a time.
Faith is the foundation.
Love is the signal.
Hope keeps rising like the prairie sun. Grace keeps healing what the wilderness won. The Prince of Peace walks right beside us,
Tracing the signal all the way home. Thanks for stopping by the table. If you're still asking, what if? Just look around. You're here. So build something, heal someone. Laugh until your ego goes offline. The kingdom is waiting for you to plug in.
faith is the foundation.
Love is the signal. All right, Earl, let's see if the signal's actually reaching the barn today. Well, I packed up the Forte, I left the high-rise view for a Minnesota morning and a bucket full of dew. I'm a metadata priest, yeah, that's what the bio says. But I'm mostly just confused by where the shovel is. Flipping tables in the kitchen, chasing clinical away, while the Dove protocol is wondering if it's gonna get to play. Trade the iron for the clay, trade the striving for a nap. I'm just a sovereign builder who can't find the faucet tap. Oh, a South Haven farm where the double portion flows, usually into the basement when the garden hose blows. Under Yeshua, yeah, we're keeping it light, abiding like a master while we lose the Wi-Fi site. Trace the signal, man, I'm just trying to find my hat. South Haven living, yeah, it's funny like that. Got the boondoggle boys and the army crew on call, swapping stories by the fire while we're staring at the wall. David's got the matches, Mary's got the fine art grace, in a tailored conversation in a very muddy place. Woo! We're Stewart in the story, but the story's kinda weird. I got metadata dripping from my sovereign-styled beard. From the podcast to the pasture, every witness finds a home in a restoration rhythm where we mostly just roam. Isaiah 61 says we're gonna get the prize, but I'd settle for a tractor and some fewer horse flies. It's a labor of love, it's a covenant of peace, until the lawnmower breaks and the blessings, well, they cease. Just kidding. Trace the signal. Kingdom OS is loading. Please wait. Abide in the sanctuary, or at least the front porch. All right, Earl. Let's see if the signal's actually reaching the barn today.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Covenant Table. The episode is called the South Haven Commission.
All right,
The theme
Earl.
is from striving to abiding, and our big idea today is God often prepares us in hidden seasons. Our role is faithfulness, but his role is transformation. I'm your host, Robert David Andrews, and David Andrews, my dad, is here. Say hi, Dad.
Hi, everybody.
Today we're going to reference scriptures John 15, 1 through 11, Isaiah 43, 18 through 19, John 8, 31 to 32, and Ephesians 4, 15. So, Dad, audience, have you ever looked back and realized that what felt like a fall eventually became a landing? Why we're talking about these, so we'll be talking about hidden seasons and why we're talking about them. Something I went through recently, I'm going to take that part out. Have you ever looked back and realized that what you felt like was, have you ever looked back and realized that what felt like a fall eventually was a landing? So Dad, when you look back and realized God was preparing something, has there ever been a time when you looked back and realized God was preparing something you couldn't see at the time?
Yeah, and usually that happens when things aren't going well, and there was a minor catastrophe situation. I couldn't even, why me, you know, and maybe 5, 10 years sometimes later, when I look back on it to where I am now, you can see the pattern. And sometimes you got to be stopped in your tracks to what you're doing, I think, because, you know, you just do. And to move down a different road, headed where you're supposed to go. That's my only explanation for it.
So you ever had a season where, a season that only made sense years later?
Yeah, when we bought this farm, we were going to rent it out. That was the deal, and we ended up living out here, and it turned into a family, you know, hacienda kind of. Years later, as I look back, you know, all the kids stayed here off and on. They go for a while, come back, go for a while, come back. We raised most of our grandkids out here, babysitting me, my wife did. And now I look back on that after the grandkids are gone, I go, that was a perfect place for them to grow up. And they got a pretty good rounded, you know, education early on. Stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, nothing complicated. It's just, it takes a while. It just takes time to go down the road and then look back and go, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I see why that would happen that way. And
yeah. So when you look back over your life, what seasons do you think shaped you the most?
wow.
Episode 4, man. I'm going deeper.
Yeah. I don't know. I had a great childhood. I mean, you couldn't ask for a finer one. We lived on a lake, lived on a farm, so I got a whole bunch of farm work for when I was, you know, very young, and also had the lake there for fishing and water skiing, and it was great. Had a good mom and dad. Let us run pretty open, wild.
Then I got out of the high school years, and I went in. I had a couple short gigs in between there, but I went into the Army for 8 years, and then stayed in the reserves for 3. When that was a variety of fun times because I always ended up with the right kind of people that where I was headed to and was assigned to, and it just was fun for me. I know some people hated every minute of it, but I took advantage of a lot of things and worked hard, and it was a lot of fun. When I got out of the Army, mainly because things in the military were changing. It was 1984, all this woke stuff was coming in. You had to clean up all your cadence singing on PT runs because it might offend somebody. Just goofy stuff. I couldn't stay in under those terms. And be comfortable. I did my time, got out, and then I thought, hey, I've done so much work, in the last few years. Here this would be a piece of cake when I got out. Well, I ended up pushing wheelbarrows for a while, for a cement company. So, yeah, and so I look back on those years. I'm grateful, and I look back on pushing a wheelbarrow because it became a union cement finisher and went on and did that for many years, and it provided, in many senses, that's how we got this farm. Right on?
Got it.
And when I turned 55, the VA told me that I better change careers because my knees my knees give out or my back is off, they can't fix me like I was younger.
Yeah.
So they said, find a new job. Well, who wants to do that at 55?
Yeah.
By then you're pretty good at what you do.
Yeah.
And you like what you do, otherwise you probably wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
And you got a camaraderie with a whole bunch of people. And so I kind of avoided it for a couple of years. And then 2 years later, the roofing company came out to shingle our farm and got to talking a little bit with the project manager. And come to find out, his grandpa owned a cabin right over here in Clearwater Lake, so he knew this area well. And he came to the swappers meet a lot of times in the summer and stuff like that. And after we got done with the project, he just mentioned, he goes, hey, if you're ever thinking about jumping ship where you're at now, we'd like to talk to you further. So I thought, ooh, geez, they're telling me to change careers, and we're going to have to climb roughs. However, it was a good fit for me. That March, I went down and, signed on board, and away we went. And never looked back, and I look back on that now, where I am now. And it was worth the dive out of concrete to learn something new, because it's good for your mind, if nothing else. So I got pretty good at electronics and operating programs in that industry. And I like to talk to people, so sales and stuff wasn't hard. Once they get to like you, trust you a little bit.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah.
So that put me. There you go. That put me in a position, now where I can do a few things that I probably wouldn't if I had kept doing concrete, because the roofing industry gave me more time to do things around here and just slow down a little bit.
That's awesome.
Now what am I going to do forward? Well, I'm not going to retire. I have no plans to retire, and the reason is I can't afford it. My brother-in-law's at 10-4 of that, but
Even if you could afford it, do you think you could?
I can't because I have to have a place to go in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I got to have be out and about and
Be with the people.
yeah, it is. It really is. So how did we get way down this trip?
Well, I'm going to pause this for a second because I need to grab some. Hold on.
Before we step away for a quick break, I wanted to share something that's very close to my heart. As we talk about building this table and choosing hope, I want to invite you to look at another part of this journey, My mom, Mary Melody, and my Aunt Penny have started their own show called Artfully Tailored Conversations. It's a space where they share their creative hearts, their wisdom, and the quiet ways they see the world. And honestly, they're doing beautiful work. We're being transparent here. We'd love to see their message reach more people. If you're someone who values these kinds of stories, if you believe in the power of unconditional love and supporting one another as we grow, we have a small request. If it would bring you joy to be a neighbor to them in this way, would you consider heading over to Apple Podcasts and leaving them a like or a kind review? There's absolutely no pressure. We only want you to do it if you feel led to help a couple of creative souls find their audience. It's a small act of kindness, but it helps the digital librarian know that their voices matter. Thanks for listening and for being part of this family journey with us. Remember, faith is our foundation, and love is always the signal. We'll be right back after this. Last night, you dreamed you were being chased by your third grade teacher through a Costco. You need answers. Introducing the Gobbler Spark Dream Engine, the dream interpretation system rigorous enough to run your 3 a.m. nonsense through clinical, Jungian, and biblical analysis all at the same time. I dreamed about losing my teeth. Turns out it means I'm losing my teeth. Very clinical. Is that flying dream about freedom? Is it about control? Or did you just forget to eat dinner again, Gary? Gary's not doing great. The Gobbler Spark Dream Engine doesn't guess, it interprets. Layer by layer, symbol by symbol, Costco chase scene by Costco chase scene. Built by Rocky Dubrock, tested on real dreams, some of them deeply concerning. Subscriptions open now.
Before you fall asleep
And need us again. Not a substitute for therapy, a priest, or telling your teacher you're sorry about the Costco thing. Let's talk about the standard bearers. We've got my mother, Tammy, the overachieving archetype. She's leading the Yeshua army and managing the kingdom. She's far too busy for coffee with her son because the general doesn't take breaks. And then there's the other saint, Aunt P. The living evidence that life can be done in order with grace. And most importantly, tastefully. Together, they host Artfully Tailored Conversations. While I'm in the R&D division grinding frequencies into flour, they're stitching the story back together with one heart and endless creativity. Go find the general, go find the saint at a table where the heart is the only paint. Two sisters, one heart, a creative flame. Artfully Tailored is the name. Find them on Apple Podcasts. Give the sisters a listen and tell the general I'm still waiting by the coffee pot. Welcome back to the Covenant Table. We're so glad you're still with us. As we jump back in, I wanted to take a second to talk about the different ways I share my heart. You might have noticed some humor and satire in the commercials we just played. That's a big part of the other personal broadcasts I do. But I want to be clear. The Covenant Table isn't a satire show. This is our sincere, heartfelt space for family truth. However, we do believe in the spirit of joy, just as Jesus used parables to help people see the truth in a new way. Sometimes a little humor helps us open a window to the heart. Sometimes, when a topic is heavy or hard to carry, our hearts naturally want to put up a wall to protect ourselves. Psychologically, satire is like a gentle way of bypassing those walls. It's not about making fun of the truth. It's about using joy to open a window so we can look at the truth without being overwhelmed by the weight of it. It's a way of healing that doesn't always feel like therapy, but it does the work of restoration just the same. This approach is really just my humble effort, a labor of love to help facilitate and coordinate the signal for our family. I'm not here because I have all the answers, but because I want to help us all stay connected in peace. And I want to be completely transparent with you all. My name is Robert David Andrews, but for this show and my other broadcasts, I use the name Rocky Dubrock. This isn't to hide, but to act as a digital gate. It's a way to protect the sanctity of our family's shared space while I continue my other personal work. If you're curious to learn more about that world, you can always visit my site at RockyDubrockNeocities.org. But here at this table, the focus is on protection and love. It takes time for a family to understand how all these digital pieces fit together, and I want to honor that process with honesty. Mom, if you're listening, I want you to know this isn't about ego or fear. It's an act of service to our history and our future. The laughter is just our way of being joyful in hope as we do the hard work of sharing our hearts as father and son. And for those of you listening in, we invite you to buy into this process with us, to see the heart behind the humor and the protection behind the persona. So, let's get back to the table.
We really appreciate those comments. So real quickly, I just want to explain to the audience, the last 18 months of my life, very much a season of reflection surrounding our grief and growth. It was a hidden time, hidden from the world, where my mind was collapsing, but my soul was very much deep, 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 deep down with the Lord. And we spent a lot of time together, a lot. Not just talking about like my life and the current, family system. A lot of it was spent talking about lineage and our past histories, and doing a lot of research around that, and it really provided a unique opportunity because my mind wasn't getting in the way from doing the deeper work. To the outside world, though, it looked like collapse, and it was collapse. It was an ego death, and it was a hot mess, and I would never want to go through it again. But for those of you that are interested, I wrote a book about it, and I'll talk a little bit about that at the back, but it's available on Kindle. And for those of you that are unlimited subscribers to Kindle, you can access it that way too. So, yeah, I just went through a hidden time with the Lord. Like, to the outside world, it looked like, was collapse, but it looked like one thing, but really, it was something else. What do you think God teaches us during seasons that feel hidden? Hidden to the rest of the world.
You want me to describe
Well, what do you think?
why they are working hidden to the rest of the world?
Yeah, why do you think God teaches us that way sometimes? Hides us.
I don't. I can only. People tend to avoid people that are going through some real deep stuff, or have problems. They either have no time in their own life to deal with the drama, all that, or they don't want to get involved because it might somehow fall on their shoulders, so they'll avoid you like the plague. It's a two-way street, because the person that is in one of those situations is in no way communicating or coming to family events when they could. So they may have the other gang, family gang, wonder why they don't come, and they don't come because they're down in the pits. That's it. You know how you can just, when you're down that hole, you can just like freeze up,
Yeah.
and you just don't want to go anywhere. Don't want to talk about nothing. You don't want to be able have to explain. Well, what are you doing today, or what have you been up to, Robert? I've been dying in the gutter. Oh, that's nice. Change the subject.
Bless your heart. We'll pray. Bless your heart. We'll pray for you.
Yeah, well then you have that.
How about you punch my EBT card? $20.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, audience. I'm kidding.
It's all that kind of stuff that goes around it. And I think a lot of times people are just too damn busy in their lives with work and family and just stuff. It's like nonstop out there.
Fair.
I see it all
That's
the time.
fair.
And they don't have to. They just don't. Plain ass don't have time.
Yeah.
You know how busy Katie is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I understand that you don't hear from her for 2 or 3 weeks. She's booked solid all the time. She's running hard. Her husband, same thing. And then all of a sudden, one day I look at my phone and there's a text from Katie and it's a picture of a Jaguar because that's what she wanted when she got her first car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she wanted that. She wanted that or a Mustang. 16 years old.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, so I said, well, you know, maybe we should think about, you know, Mustangs and all that deal. But, so she'll send a picture of something like that back, to reflect back the days which she remembers, and what she remembers is kind of cute and funny, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Why do you think we often don't recognize God's work until afterward?
well, because a lot of times you don't know what's going on until you look back. You go, oh my God, I missed it again. You know, he don't send, you know, send you a text, you know, normally.
Well, he
could.
does me. Longer story, audience.
He could, but I found that if you ask him for something, say, an example would be, please help Robert out of the situation he is in Arizona. I can't do it. Only you can do it. Just please do that. You pray that, and it's going to happen. He don't not do it. It just happens in a way that all of a sudden you show up one day and you kind of, where the heck did you come from? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Sure. Have you ever experienced a wilderness season that later became a blessing?
Well, can you give me a pause? I gotta think that
Yeah.
through.
Pause.
Yeah.
We cut the silence out later, too, as long as you want.
Say the question again.
Have you ever experienced a wilderness season that later became a blessing?
Yeah, I don't think I've had any. My troubles that pop up every now and then, you know, through the years, or I think they're worse than they are, aren't even close to something like you went through, or people that are trying to figure out what they're going to have for dinner tonight, let alone what they didn't have for lunch in the world. So I have no real problems with that. So it's kind of foolish for me to be thinking I do, because I don't.
Okay.
Not here, you know, in the United States for sure.
Well, what like helps you stay faithful when you're having hard times?
Well, there's nowhere else to turn. You know it's going to get covered. You're not alone. You're being watched basically all the time. I guess just, you know, sure, what you try to do, you try to figure it out on your own, you know, and that you're supposed to. You know, you're given a brain and, you know, the strength and the resources in most cases to figure out your problems as you went. And, when you're talking about maybe a health situation, I got pneumonia one time over in Europe when we were on vacation.
I remember that.
We had to fly you and Jessica over because they thought I was a goner. And
I was mad I had to go. Oh, that's
Steffi and Katie were there, you know, with your mother. But I was writing out my will trying to. You
Must
know.
have been scary. That's a wilderness season, if not there isn't one. for a
Well,
hot
it was an
minute.
unknown arena.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought I was done. And so the staff in the emergency room for 10 days. And what had happened was I got influenza or that turned into pneumonia. And boom, in I went, you know.
Sometimes when we're that sick like that, we have those moments like I had with God. Did you have anything like that happen?
Like what?
Like I had with God for those 18 months. Did you have anything like that happen? Like we were just in a deep dream state and
No, they kept me drugged up pretty good, you know. The only thing I remember one time was I thought I saw fire on the wall. So Mom was there visiting, kind of, and I said, "Look out! There's fire behind you." Well, knowing her, there's no way that she'd be standing there if there was a fire behind
Yeah.
her, you know, and goofy stuff like that. But that was all because of, you know, the medication I was on.
okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I have no complaints on the overall, really.
Okay. Well, it's going to move on to segment 2 of Truth and Mercy, and talking about like the difference between my responsibility now and God's responsibility. You know, one thing I've learned over the years, and especially the last 18 months, is truth reveals reality and mercy restores people. So, you know, speaking honestly without trying to control outcomes is a really key part of like moving forward. And even the work we're doing together as a family now, whether, you know, anyone else realizes it yet or not. So, what does speaking the truth in love mean to you?
Well, first of all, you should speak truth, because if you don't, you're going to end up speaking a whole bunch of other stuff until you finally get to speaking truth anyway. So it's better
Yeah.
off just to do it right away and save yourself a whole bunch of time thinking about.
Tower of Babel, right? Until you get to the truth. Babble, babble, babble.
Yeah, and you got to do it with love, which means a lot of things. It's got to be
Respect.
Kindness. Honor, respect, your tone, so you don't come across as that arrogant thing that likes to tell you how to do it, what to do, or you got to really be gentle with it. You got to think before you talk.
Look at the.
Yeah, you just do. Take a minute, step back. It's just like if you're in a street fight or something. Somebody comes at you. The best offense is a defense. You know,
Yeah.
just take a step back, and that will goof up the guy coming at you because you're supposed to be, going into defensive mode. You're stepping back, so he goes, "Oh, he's giving up," but it throws him enough, and then he's going for the kill. Like that. I don't know.
Okay. Do you think both? Well, let me think. Have you ever experienced truths that eventually brought healing?
Wow, I can't think of a truth that
Eventually brought healing.
eventually brought healing. Well, I think what we're going through right now is truth. And I think that is eventually going to heal you, me, and the rest of the family.
Okay.
I've seen a kind of front row seat.
What have you seen that make you feel that way?
Well, because we never talked about this kind of stuff before.
No, we didn't.
Let's go clean your room.
No, we certainly didn't.
Go clean your room.
To be
out.
fair, we
Oh,
didn't know either.
Well, yeah, I know.
I mean, I didn't even know how important it was.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's not like I've been walking around my life going, that family of mine, I need to get out there and tell them something. I was walking around the world babbling too.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just a lot of practical, based truth, I guess, that we're not used to doing.
Yeah. I was
Nobody wants to hear. Maybe you might have done something that you really did, but you don't want to hear it. from somebody.
right.
And they have every right to bring it up because they're pointing it out to you, maybe. in some cases. I don't know. It's kind
That
of
reminds me of the
Uncomfortable.
scripture about sin, right? When you have a brother that sins, you should go tell them. And
Oh yeah, well I haven't.
Same kind of
I haven't ever done that one.
right.
You know,
Well,
I figure-
I would use
I
it.
figure if you do 50%, you can round that up to a 100, and that's 100%.
I don't think the scripture. I think a lot of people do it this way, but I don't think scripture literally means like go confront somebody. I think it means when you know a higher truth about something, inform them. You know what I mean?
Or you can inform them in many ways.
Yes.
You don't
And it
have
doesn't
to,
have
like-
to be an assault. Yeah.
Yeah, lock them up because I got something to tell you.
Yeah.
You know. And the thing is with me, I always got my stuff in such a situation where I wouldn't be the aggressor on that.
Right.
Okay, I'd be the guy in the cage.
Well, you know, why do you think both truth and mercy are necessary?
Oh. Well, you can't have one without the other.
Can't you?
Huh?
Can't have truth without mercy?
Yes, you can. It's that story that our pastor said one time when we were talking about mercy. Okay, that was him. I just shortened up the version. And what mercy looks like and what it is. So when he was in college, his roommate that he had for 4 years, they were given a 2-week time slot to write a 2-page paper, which isn't much when you write your papers for college. Shouldn't be too hard, on mercy. And the pastor, he said he went right back and started working on it. He was going to show him how it's done. He was a competitive guy. He was going to win that prize. He was going to beat his roommate all to heck. And I guess his roommate wasn't, he was competitive, but he wasn't as gung-ho, like pastor was. Anyway, so that's what he did. He went back to his room and, started digging it up, started doing his paper. Took him almost 2 weeks to do it. Had it done a day early. That's probably just like he would do anything. And his roommate did not work on it until the morning the paper was due, and he asked the pastor something about, do you got some paper for the printer? Because I got to do my paper yet, the morning of the due date. And of course, the pastor smirked and said, "Sure, I got all you need, you loser,"
Yeah.
And then he got it done. Guy banged it out. Not that he was that smart and quick, but he banged it out. And they went off to class. And they all put their projects on the desk, and the professor of what came in and said, "Okay, everybody's got their papers, and good job, getting them in on time. Now I'm gonna show you what mercy is and what it means." He took that whole stack of papers, he ripped them all in half, threw them in the trash. Everybody gets an A.
That really touches me because when I was walking with the Lord, like that's basically what He did with me at one point. Like at the beginning, He's like, "I heard your mom." He told me, "Your mom's been praying forever." And He was very like sweet about it. He has a soft spot for her. Like all these things I learned about what I didn't know, and then when it came to and all the things in my history, and He just tore it all up.
Yeah.
He said, "Love is the only thing that matters.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Truth of the heart." And that's what He did. He evaluated my heart.
He said it many times.
Yeah.
Say, love one another. And
Yeah, He weighed my heart,
Oh.
and that was the beginning of our time together. And then from there on, it was all training after that. I think He's really good at that. He really knows how to weigh somebody's heart and then decide, what's next?
Yep.
Are you a schmuck, or are you good to go? And let's get
But
going. Or,
he
that's terrible. You know what I'm talking about.
it's all, in a way, it's all programmed because your story was written way back before you were born. You got to throw that angle in there too, to try to lighten it up on yourself. a little bit, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's what the balance of the covenant table, and from what I understand today, like tomorrow, like every day, I feel like I wake up and I'm walking with him, and I learn a little bit more about what this is all about every day.
Okay.
Right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know the whole plan. He only
Right.
gives me what I need to know for that day,
Yep.
and that's it. And honestly, I don't think I want to know.
You're supposed to live day
Yeah,
by day. Forget about tomorrow. Yesterday's past.
Yeah,
live in
that's
the
a great
present.
scripture. Yeah.
You know, I mean, how simple is that? Oh, not everybody. They got their 12-year calendar all marked out. Exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, blah 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 blah. And then something goes wrong,
Right.
and they just go, "Oh shit!" You know.
Well, that's how my life was until now. Now I absolutely like walk him deciding how the day is going to go. Just there's no point even filling out a calendar anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't bother.
Yeah.
But you know, and honestly, it's taken a shitload of stress off of me.
Well, I think it should because you have nothing left.
Right.
I mean, you know, not in a bad way.
It's kind of like
Okay,
choosing
I'll
somebody else.
stop this just for a second. Now, don't stop the reel. If you have food, shelter, clothing, and a wood stove, I'll make it simpler. If you have land and a wood stove, you got all you need to survive and thrive. So really, that would put you, Robert, in the top 1% of wealth in this country. Because those people that are in the top percent below you, they've got many things. They've got many properties.
That makes
They've
sense.
got lots of moolah.
That makes sense from a striving
And
perspective.
they are all tied up in protecting that and paying people and busy making more because they can never have enough. And then a big boom recession crash comes or something devastating happens in their camp. They can't operate because now, you know, they're on the street
Yeah.
or they're in one of their townhouses that they own in this
Yeah.
apartment building. And not that they're hurting or anything, it's just that they're not used to that kind of life. They're used to, you know. So, there I am saying, you know, again. I'll put that.
Let me ask you this. How have you seen grace change someone more than arguments ever could?
Oh. You mean if I gave somebody grace?
Yeah, or grace in general, like, instead of arguing with somebody, have you ever seen grace affect somebody, show up for somebody and just flip the table for them against all odds? And instead of, you know, you need to change and you need to go to treatment or you need to go to therapy, just boom, grace changed,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, you gotta put the clutch in on that if you think fast enough. You know, just calm yourself down for one thing, and just go, wait a minute, if that was me sitting there, what would I want coming at me? First of all, I wouldn't want all that other stuff, you know. I want somebody to come up and pull up a chair and offer me a cigarette and,
Okay.
you know, take me out for a beer and let's just chill out for a while.
We're going to move on to segment 3 from striving to abiding, and this references directly John 15. I'm just going to do a quick NIV reading. So we're going to anchor from striving versus abiding, shift from our discussion. The vine and the branches. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me and bears no fruit. While every branch does not bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because the word has spoken to you. Remain in me, as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, and you are the branches. In you remain in me, and I in you. You will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask in the word. Ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is my Father's glory, and that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you'll remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this. Greater love has one Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. You are my friends. If you do what I command, I no longer call you servants. And then it goes on and on and on. So, when we're talking about abiding versus striving, what does striving look like in everyday life? Survival.
Yeah, survival of the basics. You know, you're in this country for sure. You are taught that from, you know, a young child. It used to be more so kind of like get good enough grades so you can go to college if that's possible, or if not, get a good job when you get out,
Or go into the army.
or go into the military or something like that. You know, it's like it's kind of like this, and Mom says it well. You are told that don't even try. You were born into a lower middle class family. You're not ever going to get any better. College is a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's expensive. We can't afford it. Just go out, get out of the house and get a job and take the burden off us, kind of mentality. And I don't think they did it to be mean. They just wanted to tell it. That was their truth.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like they were told too, type thing.
Yeah.
So they had to strive to operate in that.
Survive.
Yeah, and if they wanted to go to college, they had to figure out, okay, I can work and go to college, or the programs, I can take out student loans, go to college, and I can maybe go in the military, and the military will pay for that college or the GI Bill, whatever they wanted to do. They had to figure out themselves. Parents didn't really much have much influence or strive to influence them, to point the way, because generation-wise, if you graduated 8th grade, in those days, my father, you were like a phenomenon, you know, and both my mom and my dad made it through 12th grade. And that was unheard, you know, it was like you farm kids, you know, you were in the fields and you know, in 8th grade, you learn how to read, write, and arithmetic, you're good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and really, for survival,
That's
coming out of depression years and all that stuff that happened, that was not bad advice. You know, they preached wood stove and own some land,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that should be the end of their career,
Aspirations, yeah.
but they should always have that as a base to fall back on, because then you're still rich no matter what.
Got it. So what would abiding look like to you instead of striving?
I think just let all this other stuff out there just sift through your brain and kind of wash it out of your system and just go with it's not that big of a deal. Maybe simplify your life, throw a whole bunch of stuff out you don't need or never use anyway. And there's other ways to live. You don't have to live in that flipping chaotic noise of out there. You don't.
Noise is a good word.
And it is. And okay. The United States of America, we survive on, if the economy's good, usually everything's running pretty smooth.
The noise is
All of a sudden, credit drives up, the economy tanks, boom, all of a sudden there's war because that generates a lot of money, you know, basic stuff like that. It's not happened when we're in the military with gas prices. And it's just kind of a big game out there. And if you just stop a minute and just figure out some time to really, am I really seeing this for what it really is? Or is there, you know, there's another way. You know, there's a way out there that if you can figure it out, it can be like you're on vacation all your life. No, that's true.
No, I'm not giving you that look because
And
I
what
disagree.
does that look like? Well, you don't have to punch a time clock, for one thing. no, you don't have to worry about, really worry about your car starting or not because you're not, haven't, committed your life to, or
Being
your
on a
day
clock, yeah.
to being somewhere, so you get a paycheck or
Right.
money.
So do you think like this movement we're trying to make and turn the South Haven Farm into kind of an abiding space so we
It's a
can
time kind of to clear your stuff
yeah
and figure out what do you got? You got 30, 40 more years of life? Do I want to live it like the first 40?
could you see that happening here though if things go the way we want them to like more of an abiding atmosphere we don't have to worry about being anywhere else and, yeah
And why I think that, because we're pretty hospitable around here.
you are yeah we are
My wife and I are, for sure.
no ego that's natural
It's true.
yeah
We enjoy people. We enjoy their stories. We're good listeners.
Isn't that interesting?
We love sitting around the fire out on the patio at night, if the weather's right, and having a vino or a beer and some munchies and just having people tell their story.
And that's
And
kind of
then-
the plan, right?
Then they kind of end up staying connected to you through different means.
Yeah, they
Coming
do.
back, and sometimes you end up with lifelong friends like that. And this is a place to chill out in that kind of an atmosphere because of the energy from the people that are on there believe in that and do it every day. You need a nap because you're tired. Well, lay down and take a flipping nap. Just do it.
Yeah.
Nobody says you can't.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to sleep during the day. We just say we're supposed to work during the day. Yeah. Well, okay, I get that. That's all right. If that's your thing, that makes you happy. That's great because that helps Social Security stay fluent for people, if nothing else. Just go for it.
Have there been times when you tried harder, when you feel like you've had to try harder instead of trusting deeper?
Oh, just about all my life. I would have been better off to do the trust thing, looking back, because it would have given me some time to really assess what I'm up to, and if it's really good or not. You don't. Looking back, 2020.
Hindsight's 2020, yeah.
And some of that when you don't, because you're going, if I can just get through this one more project, if I can get through this one more year, I'll take some time.
Always one more. Always one more.
Yeah, and I say, well, we need this, and I want to do this, and it's going to take this to do that, instead of maybe just relaxing in your environment where you live because you really like it, and it's calming, and there's different sounds compared to the other. And maybe learn, instead of just knowing 3 chords on the guitar, maybe learn one more. Kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have
Got
time
the
to
rhythm
learn
too,
4,
right? Yeah.
3 chords on a guitar, you play every country and western song ever written. So I
You're
don't
probably
know,
right
it's a big
about that.
need. Basically, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm everything that we try to plan and talk about around here. It's with that. Pretty sure.
Mindset.
I think it's with that thought in mind. Now wait a minute. Sell the farm, buy a condo, be bored, or keep the farm, slow down, do stuff around here, and enjoy life more, I guess. Just enjoy yourself during this stuff.
How do you, even historically or now, how do we stay connected to Christ in busy seasons?
Oh, you know.
That's honest. I really appreciate that answer, actually.
I mean, it's like if that's the thing to do. That's the kill. Because I was brought up with, some of that, getting beat on the head with the Bible stuff, church stuff. And, it, but the drive and urge to do the other in order to get something, it's like being addicted to that, and you can't get out of that. Do you know what I mean? To go
Shut
back
out.
to chilling out a little bit prioritizing your stuff in a different way, because this over here is causing a lot of problems that you wouldn't have over here
Yeah.
if you just did it. And the problems you think you're going to have over here, because you're doing all this stuff, turns out to be bigger problems than if you wouldn't have done it. It's goofy, but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, maybe you're not spending enough time with your kids because you're working all the time. You know,
Okay.
well, we need this, we need some new snow tires for the car, you know, or,
Do you think what we're trying to do now provides us an opportunity to start practicing like remaining in the vine in a practical way? Remaining in it more, slowing down,
Yeah.
focusing on
Yeah.
this environment, anchoring into it in practical ways.
and there's no slowdown in what we're doing. You don't really.
Well,
'Cause
that's
we
because
got,
I'm a
we have
fast
many things, we have many things to do. We're just doing different things
Yeah.
that we enjoy.
before.
You know,
Yeah.
I enjoyed working all the time, you know, and the stuff I did. I had fun out there, but I had fun around here without the commute.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Okay. So segment 4, restoration, Isaiah 43. I'm not going to read it. For those of you with Bibles, you can go back and read 43, 18 through 19. I want to discuss the difference between recovery and restoration. When have you seen God create something new instead of simply restoring the old? That audience, just so you know, that made him stop lighting a cigarette and think. Now I know I got him when he stopped lighting the cigarette. He's done lighting it now. Let me ask the question: get away, light your cigarette. When have you seen God create something new instead of simply restoring the old?
I don't think I have. But nothing pops. Do you think that'd be a big event?
You think? You
You
think
know,
he's doing something new here?
Oh, for sure. I think that's where it's going. I think there's a lot, but it's just like anything else. A lot of wrenches can get thrown in the gears. A reason not.
Table flipping?
Huh?
Table flipping?
Yeah, like that. I guess. Misunderstandings. You know. Too much of how it was the way before, and that seemed to be the most comfortable.
Yeah.
And then it was in many ways, because nobody was abused in this family. We had food, shelter, clothing in this family. We had everything we needed in this family to survive, and we could do a few extra things.
Survival.
Yeah, but
Done well.
the house was safe. I never had to, when I was out of town working, or in the army and gone, I never had to worry about whether my wife was taking care of the kids or not.
Yeah.
Because she's like the gatekeeper type thing, you know.
Yeah.
And never, not once did he even. I didn't even think about
You
it.
weren't burdened by that. Yeah.
So I mean, the environment, was pretty secure, but I think because of that, we didn't see a lot of things that you could have done differently, because we didn't really. You kind of know it in the back of your head, kind of know a little bit, but then you think, I can't do that. I got a rent payment or a mortgage payment
Yeah.
or a car payment or all that kind of stuff. It's like it just, and then all of a sudden there goes 10 years, 20 years, kids are out of the house, then they come back after they fall on their face a few times, and live here, and then they're out back doing, going
Yeah,
for
keep on
it,
their feet. Yeah. Is it harder to let go of the past or trust the future?
You tend to dwell on the past, the good stuff in the past. It's kind of a safe place to go.
Safety. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or feel
but
you
you
think
did-
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get killed,
You didn't get killed.
And what's coming?
What a high bar, Dad. What a high bar. Choose life.
Yeah,
How do we recognize the new thing God is doing?
the new thing I'm doing.
God is doing. How do we recognize it when it's happening?
I think, well, right off the bat, I think it's a thread. I think he's using a lot of mom's prayers and declarations she does every day, and her research on all the stuff she researches. I think that is what some of this is an answer to those asks in those
Yeah.
situations she does. And here we go again. She might not see this
Right.
as answer. She might want to see it happen, but happen in her
Maybe,
column.
maybe, or she just hasn't dawned on her yet how it's all connected.
Or maybe she don't believe it, or maybe she is afraid of it, don't believe it because it's such a different playing of the game. You know, I don't know, and it's just you won't know until maybe a year from now, or 2 years from now, or I think everybody's aware enough and we're old enough that we'll see benefits of this change sooner than later.
Yeah, I agree. We're not on the year, 2 year track. We're on the like 6 months or less track.
Yeah, and take a look, you know, and change it up as you go.
Yeah. Okay. How do we recognize, or sorry, what have you learned about hope through change in your life?
Nobody likes change. You know, I didn't like to change army posts when I get sent to another one. It was because it turned out to be like this. There is no place better than the place you're going to, and then when you got there, there was no place better than the place you came from. Get that?
Yeah, I do.
You know, it's just like kind of weird. Because change is, oh God, you know, do people, you know, are they going to treat you the same way as you used to being treated? Are you going to have that one in the office that, you know, every office has got one, you know, that you just can't tolerate, or he can't tolerate you or her, you know? And so it's a little uneasy, but change is good. Change is good for people. They need that in their life, I think. It's pretty boring. You know, you're working in the same factory, doing the same thing for 40, 50 flipping years, and nothing else.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just saying it's limiting that person to limited possibilities there, laying out there. You just, screw it, I'm going to do it and take some risk.
Yeah.
Calculated risk maybe if you can, but I mean, sometimes you just throw the towel and say, I'm fucking going for it, and that gives you the motivation to make it happen because you don't have a choice. And then all of a sudden you go, man, that was the best move I ever made.
Yeah,
You know?
it's so true. So, I'm going to move on to segment 5, walking with God together. You know, every believer has their own walk with Christ while encouraging, hopefully, one another, and we all hear Him differently, and that's the gift, you know. I know I certainly hear Him very radically different than anybody I know. But my question for you is, who helped shape your faith?
What, like human-wise?
Yeah.
Well, I was born in a home that went to a Baptist church. You know, the good news.
St. Cloud, right?
Yeah.
First Baptist?
Yeah.
They're no longer around.
Yeah, they changed the name and moved to the. It was kind of a different situation back then. They had the church, they had the parsonage right there, 24/7. You'd go right to the pastor. Now it's the churches are like they're a church, yes. They have staff, yes, but they're like convention center. They'll rent spaces out in that building to events and different things, and you know, blah 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 blah, to make the ends meet, to make payments. So it's not the same type of environment. Where the church is just church. It's always a church. You walk in that building, you're expected to behave a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and they got the deacons hanging around to make sure you do. And
The good old deacons.
now, what was the question?
Well, I think you got. Well, I was going to ask, like, what if Who helped you shape your faith? Kind of answered it.
Well, I think I think a lot of things. I think that whole period of being around all those people,
Yeah. Community.
formed you, whether you like some of it or not.
Yeah.
And there's some really good people. Don't get me wrong. There's some really good people up there, but there are also some hit you over the head with the Bible people that were,
Okay.
like scared, made you fearful of it.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
You know.
So then, with that like lead back into like that makes me wonder what conversations, or can you think of any, have strengthened your walk with God in your life? Have you had any, sit downs with someone in particularly remember, a pastor, or well, you told us a story about the mercy. That was a great story. You got any others?
I think the one conversation that I had when I was in the hospital in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
I thought I wasn't going to make it. So time out now, So I asked God that night, just take me, because I couldn't breathe. The pneumonia was so bad. I was on oxygen all the time. They were calling over to the States to talk to the doctor in the clinic. The guy that produced and made the Muppet Show.
Yeah, Jim Henson.
Yep, he died from what I had.
Oh.
So those doctors over there, Germans, they're right on stuff. They got a hold of that clinic and talked to the doctor that treated him, and he told them how he medicated and what he did for that guy, try to get him to leave. So they did the same
Wow.
thing to me.
Wow.
But with me, it worked.
Wow, the Muppets saved your life.
The Muppets, I mean, think about something like
that
that.
explains why I have some Muppet tracks in my Suno.
Could be. But the thing was that one night I thought I was done. And somebody just said, just take me, And as soon as I said that, I had this feeling of shame and embarrassment, like, go through my body.
Oh.
Like, well, no, it was a good thing. Because I knew that there was an interaction really coming. I'm not normally afraid or afraid of that kind of whatever. Yeah, and it was just like a draining. And then after that, I felt better. I started feeling better. I
Oh.
found out I wasn't in charge. Put it that way.
You
I
found
had no-
out you weren't in charge.
I had no. Yeah, I just
That's
had
quite
no.
the ego trip. I mean,
But I also
kind of
like
got knocked down.
I didn't push that, And in fact, I haven't told anybody that story until just now to you. And
Oh,
all those
privilege.
people out there,
Well, you told me first, but the rest of the world's about to find out. Well, I respect that.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm really kind of embarrassed about that. I actually was to a point where I had to cave.
You had to surrender.
Yeah, I mean, like my life,
Maybe that was your moment of surrender, really.
Well, surrender me out of something.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah,
So surrender can look different, like different things to different people, right?
it was more or less, I got this, knock it off, just get better. Type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
How do families encourage each other without trying to control one another?
Oh, they don't.
That's
That's how they do it.
Okay, let me move
They
on.
find a hook,
What legacy of faith do you hope to leave your children and grandchildren?
What legacy?
What legacy of faith do you hope to leave your children and grandchildren?
I will say with
Take your time.
when the grandkids, let's take them, because that's most recent. When they were little, they were surrounded by the Bible and the good news because of your mother. And, their parents too, all of the church, but they had like a double dose, so they kind of grew up thinking it was cool.
Hmm.
And like Bailey Noel, for crying out loud, they could probably recite the whole Bible now, and they kind of smile and laugh and giggle about it because they understand a lot of it in ways that we're just trying to figure out, I I guess. It don't bother them. If anything, I know the deal. You're gonna have to come over this. So how can I explain this? Okay, you have this would be the house of David Andrews, right? And if I accept Christ, and my wife accepts Christ, your house is covered. That means everybody in your house is covered under the blood. That means Jessica, Robert, Katie, and Stephanie from the get-go. Now, they can do it individually, and that's encouraged by a lot of the procedure within that system in the churches, like baptism, for one thing. You're not, I mean, it has nothing to do when you're going to flop over the wall in the heaven side. It's just a gesture of whatever. So then you take that. Okay, that's a faith thing. I have faith that that's exact. All my kids are covered. Now, how about their spouses? Okay, and they get married and they have kids, and then say their husband, in Jessica's case, don't ever take that plunge. Jessica's still covered. Jessica's. Nobody else is, unless they do it individually on the side. Okay? So that would mean Bailey and Noel wouldn't automatically go. They would have to make a personal confession ask on that.
Yeah.
Themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's all through, I mean, you go back to the Bible, all those guys, if you were in the house of, Job, or you were in the house of Isaac, or you're in the house of whatever, that's kind of how that worked. And nothing has changed.
We're currently in the house of SSID of David. So that's our current Wi-Fi.
So you're going to thank me later for the free ride.
Okay. What's God been teaching you recently? And we're kind of moving into closing reflection now, audience. 4 questions left. He's almost through. He almost arrived at. But what has God been teaching you recently? Because I have no idea. I'm very curious myself.
What he's been teaching me
Yeah.
in the last 3 years or so?
No, just recently.
Like since a month ago or the last
a
2
week
weeks
ago.
or yesterday?
Last week. This past week, up till now.
Your situation required a certain way to handle it amongst the family. And that meant that it had to be me to go down there and hook up with you and work side by side.
You're right, because I would have killed them all.
Tell some stories and have some fun doing some of the tough things we had to do. And
They were tough, and I appreciate that.
but it was for me. It was fun, kind of fun. I learned a lot. So
Like what?
I learned how all this stuff works. I don't know how to do it myself, but I know I could learn how to do it.
The music and the...
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That AI stuff. I know there's 2 sides to AI. I get all that. They're fighting over who controls it for the world, so it must be
The
something.
metadata piece here does. Just kidding.
But, and it's like, geez, there's a good side to it. There's a bad side
Just
to
like humanity, right?
it. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
have it. Churches out on that.
Church is out.
And
Same
so
thing.
just make sure the right folks are in charge of protecting the AI to make good things and get rid of all those slugs that want to use it for the other side.
Okay.
If you can. Put your energy into that.
So, what about the season? What have you been praying about this season?
Well, my first prayer in the morning when I get up is one thing every morning. When I come outside, my coffee. This is the day the Lord has made. I will be glad in it.
I love that.
That's it. If you pray, if you pray to God or the Trinity or the Holy
Whatever you call it.
or whatever your
You know.
the latest the latest thing is these
Yeah.
buzz prayer, you can just recite the Lord's Prayer. When he was asked by the apostles, teach us to pray, or whatever, and that's what he told them. He didn't say you got to go on and on and on
No, he
and on for a
didn't.
half an hour, bringing up everything and there's places in there was, and I thought for a while,
He basically said that one covers it all, didn't he? If I remember right.
really,
Yeah.
because it says it all in a
Yeah.
way. Don't worry about it. It just it's the acknowledgement of who he is.
Okay.
And I go on and on about that stupid stuff in a way, but basically just keep it simple and let him do the rest.
So this week, what does abiding look like to you?
In what arena?
Abiding to Christ, abiding to God, just being faithful, and so there'd be perfection. It just means, our little efforts here and there. It could be something as simple as he told me to slow down and go fishing, so I went and fished. It can.
Yeah. Well, I think we've been doing some of that.
Yeah.
I took you with me yesterday when I had some errands to run just to hang out with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
was abiding. Yeah.
Go to the VA and buy a hamburger and french fries because I never did that kind of stuff when you were a kid. And it
I
was
appreciated that.
it's a whole world out there that you really didn't see except for your time in the Army. But
Oh boy, did that bring back nostalgia though for me,
yeah, it did.
and a sense of safety and security immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was in there, but it was a good reminder that why we're so safe in this country. Because you walk into a facility like that, you automatically have a sense of, this place is full of people that are protecting me or have protected me.
And they're organized.
And don't screw with the volunteers because they're probably they probably killed a million people to protect you.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
My last question is, what encouragement would you leave with someone walking through a difficult season?
Get your eyes off yourself.
Get your eyes off yourself.
Absolutely. Don't just chill fucking out. Do what you can do and just let it roll because there's nothing you can do about it. I'm not saying just sit down and watch
Have to.
TV and eat.
Unless it's Star Trek. Star Trek's pretty good.
Well,
I'm just
that's
kidding.
all what you do. It isn't gonna last. It's gonna end soon.
Yeah.
Make good use of the time. Catch up on learning that new guitar chord, possibly. Maybe, whatever it is in your life, that you put on hold, and now you got some time because you're in a hot spot.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm just going to close this out with a prayer. You're okay with that, Dad?
Yeah, go ahead.
And in my prayers, I'm not really I'm more like just having a conversation with God kind of person. But this week I'm just going to pray for all of us, for wisdom, for humility, for the courage to face the truth as we do these Covenant podcasts, and for me to continue having a trauma-informed approach. Because hearts are, I will say one thing, the heart is what God cares about most, and I take that very seriously. Grace to receive mercy, faith to abide in Christ, and hope for whatever new thing God is growing. So, audience, my closing thought is this. Sometimes the deepest work God does happens where no one else can see it. Our calling isn't to manufacture fruit. It is to remain connected to the one who gives life. Thanks for joining us around the Covenant table. Until next time, keep tracing the signal.
Yeah, good one.
From the forge to the mine, every story finds its time. Raise your voice and pass the key. Our song lives in you and me. Grandma brought the harmony, Grandpa brought the tune. One side forged the iron bright, One worked beneath the moon. One knew fire, one knew stone. One learned strength when standing alone. Now the old songs call us near. Every generation's here. Strike the iron, lift the light, sing together through the night. From the forge to the mine, every story finds its time. Fire above, coal below, love keeps teaching us to grow. Turn the key, don't fear the flame. Every heart can heal the same. From the forge to the mine, every story finds its time. Uppsala still hums the tune. Pennsylvania joins in soon. Sunday harmonies fill the air. Every voice has something to share. Not just history on a shelf. Every verse rewrites itself. Pull a chair and sing along. You belong inside the song. Shalom! Peace to those who've come before. Peace to those who come once more. May our stories carry truth. May our laughter carry grace. May love always leave a place. From the forge to the mine, every story finds its time. Raise your voice, pass the key, leave a lighter legacy. The ancestors sang before us, now it's our turn. Let the dove land where it may. Wait, don't roll the credits yet. Ladies and gentlemen, one final announcement from the Kingdom Theater. If you've been decoding every symbol, every silence, every joke, remember, not every silence is a puzzle. Some silences are invitations. Looking for the director's commentary. The Dove Protocol continues after the credits. Some stories are sung, some are discussed, some are simply lived. Before you laugh at another family story, remember your own table. The Kingdom audit begins at home. Be kind to the ushers, be kind to the builders, be kind to one another. The lights stay on, the coffee is warm, the builder is still building. The story continues. Oh! One more thing. The director's commentary remains open. Until next time. End transmission.